for me as a father and as a dad and us as a family is our house is the house. What I mean by that is our house is the house to where it is that my kids and all my kids' friends feel safe. And this is hot. Dude, and Joshua gets back in the car and he goes, what are you listening to? I was like, G-Eazy. And he goes, you were just giving me shit about this, whatever it is. I was like, no, I like this. So I think it's a lot of just not always treating your kids like kids, but treating your kids like people and making sure that that entire family is kind of behind each other's back.
Jeremy is the CEO, founder of JB Capital, and JB Capital has been around for how long?
We're now 22 and a half, almost about 23 years, I guess.
23 years. Yeah. And before that, where were you?
I was a model and actor. No,
Right.
I wasn't. No, not at all.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
Currently unemployed. No, I've kind of always been an entrepreneur, right? You know, good and bad. I mean, mostly that means it is that you're unemployable. Nobody else will hire you, so I guess you're an entrepreneur, right? But I've always kind of thought differently-ish. Went to school and that kind of a thing, and had aspirations there. But ultimately, when my wife and I got together and we got married, I knew that I wanted to do something different. So we started a couple of little businesses, and most of them were crap, and a couple of them did okay. And then ultimately ended up starting what became JB Capital, kind of the middle to end of 2002, kind of by happy accident. And it's, been running and growing and changing and trying to do good things since.
Great. So, and then within JB Capital, real estate dads, tell us about your kids.
I got cool kids. I got great kids. So we've got three. So 23, 20, and 17. So my wife and I have our 28th wedding anniversary next month. Totally outkicked my coverage. Like, she's a smoke show, dude. Like, awesome. Insert a picture somewhere. She's hot, right? But then I have three kids, 23, 20, and 17. So boy, girl, boy. Eldest is Joshua.
Okay.
And then my daughter is Kaylin, who's 20. And then my youngest son, Tristan, is 17. So great kids.
And so when we started your business, one of the things we like to kind of get, figured out, what were the milestones for the kids or the milestones in your business, and how are you balancing those things?
The milestones for the business were, initially, is this thing going to work, right? I mean, everybody has a milestone of I want to make $100,000 or $1 million or $10 million or whatever it is. I wasn't that smart. I mean, it was really a defensive position of what am I going to do with myself? It is, and what am I going to do with my business? It's going to hopefully kind of take care of my family, feed my family, allow me to be me, whatever that is, that's continuing to evolve. And hopefully that proves to be something it is that you can grow over time. So I don't know if I necessarily had milestones looking back. You got milestones. Oh, this worked. That worked. We did this. That was fun. That was good. That was good. Then we poured gas on that. But I don't think that there was ever something it is that was at the time that we started was a 20-year plan saying we're going to leap tall buildings in single bound. It was, what the fuck are we going to do now? Let's hope that this works. Let's hope that we make money. I don't want to, I don't want to get an I told you so from my friends or my parents because they dropped out of school or like these kind of things. I don't want to listen to that. And that at the time early on was motivation enough. It is to just put your head down and work until you figured it out. Milestones for the kids, I guess now kind of watching and seeing, looking back, are dad's kind of cool. I don't think it's a milestone necessarily that, they saw us build a big house and build a big office and have lots of people and make lots of money, because your kids kind of care about that and kind of don't give a shit, right? Like the kids it is that you've seen, it is that their parents have a big business and a big house, but they have no relationship with their dad because he's always gone, and mom's got a pool boy and dad's got a girlfriend. Like, what fucking milestone is that? You know what that? Like the cool things now it is that I think become milestones. It is, for me as a father and as a dad and us as a family is our house is the house. And what I mean by that is our house is the house to where it is that my kids and all my kids' friends feel safe.
That's my goal.
Yeah, right.
That's my life.
I totally agree.
My wife is somehow this came, and I don't know how it came. My wife is Mama Hill. All of my daughter's friends, when they come over, when they can't talk to their mom, they talk to Mama Hill.
Oh, wow.
And my older sons and my younger sons, when their girlfriends would come over, the first thing that they would do is come and give my wife a hug and kiss. And so the milestones I think it is for us there as a family is creating that kind of environment where it is that your kids want to be with you. And I think we see a lot of this now to where it is that kids can't wait to get out of the house. God, I can't wait to move across country, go to school, or get a job, or do whatever it is because their parents are a pain in the ass. I get messages from like these kids. It is that we've seen that have been my son's friends that I've known since they were 10 years old because they traveled the country playing soccer together or doing whatever. We've been all over the country, all over the world for these guys doing this kind of stuff. And now that these kids are graduating college, they're calling saying, "Hey, Mr. Hill or Jeremy, can we talk? Can we have lunch? Can we have this? I got a job offer in New York. What do you think I should do? My dad's wanting me to do this. I don't want to do this. How do I tell him this stuff?" And so it becomes this kind of counseling and mentoring relationship it is that you have with these kids. And that comes off of LinkedIn and it comes off of your kids' networks and this kind of a thing. And so those, if anything, if there's dad milestones with your kids or something like that, those have been pretty good ones.
That's great. There's that much trust. I reach out to both you and your wife.
Yeah. How did you make your house the house? Like, what are the main, things?
That's a I don't know. That's a great question. So my wife and I will get asked that a lot. Like, you guys are awesome kids. Like, what? Like, do you feed them something different? Is there some weirdo supplement? We got to be given. Like, what do you do? And the answer is I don't know. I mean, one of the things that we've always done is that we've kind of breathed life into our kids for what it is that they want to do. Like, if you want to play soccer, you want to play football, you want to try out for a play, you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, awesome. Like, we're going to do that. But if you're going to do it, you're going all in. Like, we're not half-assed. We're not going to try anything. You're going to go all out. And if you decide after the first season or the first play or the first whatever it is that you're trying to do that you don't want to do that, that's okay. But while you're there, it's 100%. The other thing it is that we did is we, if my son's doing something, all of us show up to support what it is that he's doing, right? So if Joshua's got a game, the four of us go to the game. If Tristan's got it, whatever, we all go. It's not your brother has a game. Oh, how did he do? Well, you're going to know how he does because your ass is going to be there with us. And all of us cheer for you. And when my daughter did theater for a little bit, we were, the two things it is that we had for theater is, God, what a bunch of fucking theater nerds. Don't invite these guys over to our house, right? But my daughter's just such a wonderful spirit. It was like, okay, we're going to her play again, right? We're going to the play, but all of us are going and we're going to clap and we're going to cheer and we're going to do whatever it is because it's her and my daughter. And we should support her. Absolutely. And you should support her. And so should you and that kind of thing. And my son jokes with me. My eldest son, Joshua, jokes with me because I remember going to this. We're driving down the hill from our house when we were in Woodinville in Seattle. And he goes, "Dad, hey, I got this new music it is I want you to listen to." And I was like, "Cool, man, put it on." Whatever we're listening to. And we're touring down the hill, going to soccer practice. And he puts on some freaking rap music of some kind or whatever it is. And I was like, "Oh, cool. Listen to whatever it is that you want." And I was like, "Who is this guy?" And he goes, "This is G-Eazy." And I was like, "G-Eazy? Fucking dumbass name. Like, what shit are you listening to, man? Like, listen to some Tony Robbins. G-Eazy. Shit." And like 3 or 4 months later, it somehow, because all of our iTunes and everything are connected, so we have all of our family stuff it is together. Somehow it came up when I was in the car and my son wasn't there. And I was like, "Man, this is hot." Dude. And Joshua gets back in the car and he goes, "What are you listening to?" I was like, G-Eazy. And he goes, "You were just giving me shit about this, whatever it is." I was like, "No, man, this is I like this." So I think it's a lot of just not always treating your kids like kids, but treating your kids like people, and making sure that entire family is, kind of behind each other's back. Like we always talk about kind of mafia mentality in our house, right? Like it's we're all there 100% all the time for all of us. And if somebody hurts one of us, we're all going to kill them. It just, I don't know. It's always been like that.
It's always focused on the family.
Totally.
What happens if two kids, one has a play, one has a game? I mean, that had to have happened, right?
Sure. Yeah. It's
divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. I mean, there was time because of circumstance and the kids' ages when we were in Seattle. It is that we had 3 different kids at 3 different schools. And that was just a nightmare. And it just, because of how all of our kids went to private school all the way up through high school, and then they went to public high school. But at the times it is that they were growing, we were going because of their ages, they were kind of 3 years apart, that it was a divide and conquer, just crazy. I mean, you can't, the reality is that you want to strive for perfection, but perfection is impossible. So you have this thing of excellence is the standard, but grace is the word. We're going to do the best it is that we can, but we're also going to realize that we're human and like sometimes shit just happens. Right?
Yeah.
So